Hi everyone, I'm Jennie Sherman. It's my third time back at Prego Expo. I'm so excited to see everyone, sort of, or hear from everyone. So please, let's make this an interactive conversation and let's talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about today. So I'm here, I'm a financial planner. So I usually come to Prego Expo and talk about the importance of life insurance and the importance of savings and a lot of other wonderful things that new parents sometimes seem to overlook. So the title of our day today is legacy. Sorry, love, legacy, and life insurance. So that's going to be one of the topics that we're going to focus on. I'm going to show you what I use with my clients to make their experience really impactful, and I'm also going to allow at the end in my Q&A after this, I'm actually going to give everyone as a courtesy and a special gift for being a Prego Expo attendee. You'll get access to be able to start on your financial future today without me and hopefully with me. I'd love to have all of you as clients. So wonderful. Andrea, I'm from New Jersey too. So right now I'm in my home office today. I live in Homedale, New Jersey. My office is in Shrewsbury, New Jersey. And a little bit about me is I joined Planning Alliance back in 2021. Like I said, I'm a financial advisor. I actually got my start on the New York Stock Exchange. I was a trader for 10 years, so I was experienced in whirlwind of craziness and market volatility, but I got a really good education on market, uh, the way the market works and whatnot. And then I eventually went into an estate planning firm. I was a life insurance director there, so I ran their life insurance department. So I wanted to find a company that incorporates pretty much everything that I have learned over the years. I didn't come from a financially savvy background. I came from a very humble beginning. My parents were pretty simple minded. They had their pensions and their whatever their jobs provided for them, but they never really did any outside planning. And once I joined that estate planning firm, I learned that there was financial planning that really good people deserve that don't feel like they deserve it. So if you've ever felt like you didn't deserve a financial plan or you don't have enough to have a financial plan, I can't, couldn't be any further than the truth. It could be a very scary experience if you haven't worked with a financial professional. It's a very intimate and very sometimes maybe don't want to talk about it, but I can tell you it is something that is extremely important as you start growing a family. So I'm not going to be the funnest, not going to have any really great, wonderful products that are going to have bells and whistles. But I think that my segment is the most important segment that you're going to witness in the 3 days that the Prego Expo has. So again, like I said, join me. I'll announce a Q&A and I'm going to give a special gift to everyone to get started on working on what their finances today. But I wanted to go through some of the things that I said I was going to discuss today. And then I really want to make this an interactive segment so that we can just answer some questions that you all have. So if I wasn't clear on who I am, or if you have any questions about my background or what exactly I do, please let me know and I will certainly answer it. Hello from Michigan. So again, I'm based in New Jersey, but I do have clients all across the country, by the way. So thanks to Zoom and what we've experienced after COVID, I have clients all over. So I have clients out in California, I have clients in Massachusetts, I have clients in Florida, Texas, Colorado. I'm licensed all across the country. Um, and what I wanted to make sure I touched on is the bullet points that are in the I guess in the promotion for this. So I want to make sure we touch on what most parents overlook when it comes to financial protection and planning. And there's really two things that come to top of mind. Uh, with protection is I don't know that unless you come from a family that is having conversations about life insurance, I think a lot of people get confused between employer provided benefits and what you should be doing on your own. in addition to anything that you're provided at work. So I think that some new parents overlook that, and I think that parents also overlook the the cost of waiting. So what I wanted to show really quickly is I'm going to just share this one screen that I think really highlights the cost of waiting. So if you, as a new parent, were to put $300 away, and I know everyone's feeling trapped and a little bit with the economy, they feel like they can't save. A lot of people are feeling that way, that it's a little challenging right now, but I can't implore everyone here enough to try their best to save and save sooner than later. And that being said, if you notice here, I have two basic screens up. One showing that if you put away $3,600 a year or $300 a month, even at a very low rate of return in some sort of a investment vehicle, over 15 years, you would create a balance of about $88,000. But if you just did 5 years earlier, right? So if you wait 5 years to start saving, you almost double your money just in 5 years. So you're really the quicker you're able to save, the better, the more impact you're going to have on the return of your dollars. And it's really important. So I wanted to make sure I touched on that. And then I also want to make sure that we talk about making your money work smarter, even if you're just starting out. And something that my company, myself, that I've noticed with clients that I work with on a consistent basis is disorganization is the key to financial unhappiness. So, that being said, I have a really great tool that my clients and I use. And I'm going to share that with you now. And this is, let's see here if I can get this to share. Okay, here we go. So, this is called the living balance sheet. Can everyone see it? Can someone give me a yes or a no if you can see the living balance sheet that's up? So this is a living balance sheet. What that means is, if anyone is familiar with balance sheets, it basically calculates your assets minus your liabilities. So it equates to your net worth. Okay. So that's what a balance sheet is. We have a living balance sheet. Thank you, everyone, for saying yes. So a living balance sheet, because this lives with you. So this is custom tailored to each of my clients. This happens to me and my clients, mom and dad client. So if you notice, I have dad's name up here in the corner. And this is a balance sheet. Now, this is his view. So this is the client view. I'm not showing you my view. I'm showing the client's view. So if you work with me and you're a client of mine, this is something that you would have access to. So what we take into account, unlike any other financial advising firm that you work with, okay, you have your Merrill Lynch, your Charles Schwab, your Edward Jones investment folks out there that they only solely focus on assets under management. Then you have New York Life, you have Northwestern Mutual, even Mass Mutual. Those are companies that they try to solve every single dilemma or anything that you have going on with an insurance product. It's not realistic. Okay. So, what we do and what I help my clients do is take all of their financial information, every single thing about themselves and their financial well being. So, 19 components are located in here. Some of these I can help with, and some of them I can't, but they're all very important to your financial plan. Do you have proper property and casualty insurance in place? Do you have a will? Do you have a trust? Do you have life insurance? Do you have disability insurance? Are we saving appropriately in the right buckets? These are all things that are really, really important for new parents, because why? Everything gets extremely expensive when you have kids. Failed to mention that I do have 6 kids of my own. I'm like the Brady Bunch. I gave birth to 3 and I have 3 bonus kids. So I've been everything. So every mom that's on here today, I think I've been in your situation. I've been a single mom. I've been a working mom. I've been a stay-at-home mom. I've been there, done that. I felt the financial pressures in different capacities in each way. And I have to tell you that this system that I use on my clients, it gives them so much clarity and so much help. So this is their view. And now if you look over here, there's a scorecard that we give out. So I'm gonna actually move to this slide. And I wonder if I could just make it a presentation because here we go. There we go. Much better. Um, Hopefully that's easier for you to see. Um, so with this slide, what I wanted to show you is that we have a scorecard that actually tells you how you're doing. So slide is not in presentation mode, but normal outline view. I can't, you know what? I can't get it. I know you see my side, the side pack. So this, I don't really know how to get rid of it. So anyway, we're gonna have to deal with it for now. I apologize. So this is the mobile app. So there is a mobile app. It's really great. It's wonderful. Again, live, you get a live view. So if someone, my clients that take advantage of this tool, they link their accounts to it. It is all encrypted. It is extremely safe for you to use. So you can link everything to the app, and then you have a live view of everything that you have going on in your finances. So there's no limit to what you can add to this. You can add things that are employer based. You can add accounts that are outside that have nothing to do with your employer, etc. So, really important. So, there's real 4 steps that we encourage our clients. So, I'm going to stop sharing now. If anyone has any questions on what I just showed you, absolutely let me know. Please, start asking questions in the chat. I would love to help answer any questions that you have. So, what we find is, and what they found in years of experience in the investment world, is doing a strategy that makes sense to work in a variety of circumstances, which happens to be my scavenger hunt clue, everyone. So we want to build plans that will work in a variety of circumstances, not just when everything goes right. It's easy to create a plan where you have everything going right. But what happens if things go wrong? If you watch the video that I had in my booth, it's about what happens to the death of someone important in your life. So if you or your partner were to pass away, what happens to your child? Is there anything set up for that child? So we always start with protection. Life insurance, disability insurance, making sure you're protecting your biggest asset. Your biggest asset is not your car. It's not a it's not your house. It's your ability to walk out of your house and earn an income. And that being said, life insurance is extremely important. Insurance is extremely important as a parent. And then on top of it, we want to focus on saving in the right buckets so that your money can grow. And then we focus on debt after the fact. So that's the 4-step strategy that we focus on, and we use the tool that I just showed you. I have so if Brittany, if you come and visit my booth after the fact in the Q&A, I'm actually going to allow you to have access to it today. So you'll be able to use the living balance sheet for yourself if you like. You could use it today. I'm also going to just throw up a link really quick. The best way to get started with anything like this is with using the living balance sheet, if you'd like, is schedule a meeting with me. So I'm going to give you a link in the chat right now, and that is going to be to schedule a meeting. And pick a day that's convenient for you. I have online hours listed, and I hope that I get to see everyone there. So let me just grab that link as I'm talking. So send in your questions now. What questions do you have about life insurance, disability insurance? Now, when I mean disability insurance, the past couple of times that I've come to this event, I know people were confusing disability insurance with maternity leave. So That is not what I'm talking about. Maternity leave is a challenging investment insurance vehicle in some cases. Most of the time, the people that really need maternity leave because they're not offered it through work don't qualify. The reason being is you need to have Family Medical Leave Act. You have to have FMLA through your employer, and you also can't be pregnant. So most of the time people think about it once they're pregnant. You really have to take advantage of something that before you become pregnant. So it's not something that I don't have access to. I could get that, but it's absolutely necessary that if there's something that I can help with in that regard, definitely reach out prior to or in between pregnancies because you won't qualify for it if you are currently pregnant. But getting on to the topic of life insurance and why it's so important. So a really big uh, error that people make, and especially young couples, is I'm going back to talking about the employer benefits. A lot of people get confused that they get life insurance or disability insurance through work and that they don't need it anymore. I'll tell you a really crazy story that happened to me years ago. I had a client that was pretty successful. He had 6 children. It was really, we kept imparting on him on how important he needed life insurance and disability insurance. He actually worked for a very big financial firm himself. He thought he knew better. He was like, I get it through work. I don't need it. I don't need it. Well, finally, we get to the stage of the point where, working with him for a couple of years, like, listen, we finally got him to understand you need life insurance and you need disability insurance separate from your employer. When you get insurances like that from your employer, it's not portable. So if you get fired or you leave, that insurance does not go with you. Oftentimes it's not enough. It's usually like life insurance will be 1 times your salary. That oftentimes isn't enough. So talk to me about calculating what exactly your family needs if God forbid something were to happen to you or your partner. So that being said, anyway, fast forward, we finally get him into underwriting. And I find out that the guy actually was like in stage 4. He had stage 4 cancer. So the guy was terminal at this point. So he didn't qualify for life insurance. He didn't qualify for disability insurance. Simultaneously, as I got this news, he found out there was huge layoffs at this big financial firm. He lost his job. He had no life insurance. He had no disability insurance, not from his employer and not from himself because he waited so long. Thank God we were able to find out that he had something and his family was at least prepared that happened, but financially they were not prepared at all. So really something to think about. Life insurance is calculated. The younger you are, the healthier you are, the less expensive it's going to be. That's whether it's permanent or term. That's just the way it is. So Michael Daum has a question. For life insurance, I know I should have insurance that covers outstanding debts for my family. But what about when you have kids? How much additional makes sense, especially as the primary source of the income for a family? So you're only insurable for a certain amount of death benefit, Michael. It's all calculated based upon your age. The older you get, the less percentage or multiple of your income. So it's all dependent upon your income of what you're able to get. Now, as far as what you need, I always say to everyone, if you can afford it, you should max out and get every bit of that maximum coverage that you can get. Because what that does is it allows your partner to basically get to retirement just as if you were still here. So with kids, it's even compounded, right? Because you also have to take that into consideration. What I'm unfortunately seeing is time and time again. I'm in finance for 20 years. I've been on the insurance side for about 12. I've placed, unfortunately, so many claims that I've seen almost everything. That being said, there is an emotional occurrence that happens when people pass away, unfortunately. And I hear a lot of clients say to me, I don't need that, or we don't need that much because you know what? My wife will go back to work. I'm the primary income owner. My wife will go back to work. Well, what if your wife is incapacitated and in the fetal position? She can't move. Her husband passed away. It's extremely, there's a lot of emotional baggage that happens, and there's an emotional reaction that happens. We're talking about the loves of your lives and making sure you protect them and making sure that they have the ability to live as if nothing, nothing has occurred. So, some questions we have here is: are there restrictions in getting life insurance if you had cancer in the past? There could be. It depends on when you had cancer, what type of cancer, what stage of cancer. That's something that I would do a preliminary inquiry. I would not push anybody to get insurance until they went through that inquiry, and we would have that discussion. So, Stacy, reach out to me, book an appointment. We'll definitely have that discussion if that's something you're concerned about. Everything we talk about with me, again, is confidential. I am not judgmental. If you're concerned about sitting across the table from a scary old financial advisor male, it's not me. I am a mom like all of you here. I like I said, I'm a family person. I'm not pushy. And I just really want to make an impact with the people that I work with. If you aren't married but had children together, it doesn't matter. So you can name anyone a beneficiary. So it could be your fiance, it could be your boyfriend, it could be your girlfriend, it could be your mom. It doesn't matter. You could be a single mom. I had when I was a single mom, I actually didn't have a lot of money at the time. I just bought inexpensive term insurance just because I wanted to have that. I wanted to be able to sleep at night knowing that, God forbid, something happens to my children, to me rather, my children would be okay because I'm leaving my sister a substantial amount of money. So my sister would be like, "Stop, stop, don't give me money. Stop. You don't have to worry about paying for life insurance." And I was like, "Dina, I love you. I know you're my sister, but I also am extremely cognizant that no one loves my kids more than I do. And I want to let all of you know here, your kids are the apple of your eye. Your babies are your world. They're no one else's. And if you something happens to you, sure, people might step in and help, but they might not be happy about the financial burden that's placed on them. So the least you could do as a parent is make sure you have something in place, because you want to make sure you make it as easy as people to love your kids, because they're not ever going to love them as much as you do. So that's why it was really important for me to specifically have insurance, and I named my sister the beneficiary. Now I'm married, I'm remarried. My husband is the beneficiary on everything. We have wills. Another thing that I discuss with my clients: having wills, power of attorneys, medical directives, all part of a financial plan that young people may not think about. We tend to have this very weird thing in our world where humans think that they're invincible. And I literally, the only thing that we can ever count on is we are going to pass away. We might get disabled. 1 in 4 adults become disabled in some way, shape, or form. We're not talking about hurting your back. We're talking about getting cancer, like Stacy mentioned earlier, or getting Parkinson's or getting Alzheimer's, where they have to stop working before they think they need to stop working. So really important to pay attention to those insurances. But it's really crazy how a lot of young families think, oh, that's never going to happen to us. So everyone plans on things just happening. And then once something does happen, no one wants to be a good, sorry, a GoFundMe family. So be careful of that. I did change some of them. You can convert from term to whole life, do a permanent policy. That's definitely something we could talk about in the Q&A right after this. I'm going to have Q&A after this. Whole life and term, I think that it depends on your circumstance, and it depends on your circumstance and where you are in life. Now, I only have a minute left, so I want to just tell everybody: free consultations. There are, as an attendee, you can meet with me for free. I will give you my services for free. Meet with me. Let's talk about getting your financial picture organized. Let's find out how much insurance you need for these babies that are coming. I wish you all well, and I'm so happy. I hope I get to meet all of you. Please book any type of meeting you can with me, whether it's a phone call or an online. Definitely reach out with any questions. And like I said, I'll be online after with a Q&A. And I saw Grandma Nini. Everyone calls me Aunt Jenny. Feel free to call me Aunt Jenny. And I hope I hear I hear from everyone on the expo. I hope that I get to meet you all. And I wish you all a really good day and successful pregnancies and fun, happy times with your children. Take care and have a great day.